Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you all?
Fine, sir.
Fine.
Fine, sir.
Shall we start? Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
I think 1, 2 people, they are yet not online. 4, 4, 8, 3, 11. 9 are online. So 3 people are not online. Vikrant is not online. Seema, she is not online. We'll wait for only 1 minute or else we'll start. Pawan, yeah, he is online. Vaibhav, yeah. So yesterday we had seen yesterday we had seen Transfer of Property Act. Now today we'll see different topics. We'll start with small topics like gift and will. So what do you understand by will? My daughter gave the answer about will. Now she has heard it for 2-3 times in this week. So she already gave the answer that आपके मरने के बाद अगर प्रॉपर्टी किसके नाम पे करनी हो वो अगर आप कह के जाते हो तो that is will sheet. So what is exactly will? Not अंतिम इच्छा. आदित्य, मेरी आज भी इच्छा मैं कह सकता हूँ, वो अंतिम इच्छा तो नहीं है, राइट? भी विल कर सकता हूँ. सो विल इज व्हाट इज विल? विल मीन्स हम लोग अगर मान लो मेरी कोई प्रॉपर्टी है, अगर मैं विल नहीं करता हूं तो मेरी प्रॉपर्टी मेरे मरने के बाद किसको जाएगी?
Yes, sir.
It will go to my successors, legal heirs. Am I right? But suppose if I want कि भाई मेरे मरने के बाद वो प्रॉपर्टी मेरे सक्सेसर्स को नहीं किसी और को जाए, then what I have to make? I have to make a legal declaration कि भाई मेरे मरने के बाद मेरी प्रॉपर्टी इसको चली जानी चाहिए. Right? So that is will. I am still amazed by my daughter's answer. So she is just 9 years of age. So मेरी मरने के बाद मेरी प्रॉपर्टी किसको जाएगी? That is will, right? Okay. So will means it's a legal declaration. Will means it's a legal declaration of the intention of the testator. Means the person who makes a will, he is called the testator. So it's the legal declaration of the intention of the testator with respect to his property, which he desires to be carried on after the effect, into effect after his death. मीन्स अगर मैं अपनी प्रॉपर्टी कोई है और मैं एक लीगल डिक्लेरेशन कर देता हूं कि मेरे मरने के बाद ये प्रॉपर्टी इसको जाएगी, देन दैट इज सेड टू बी विल. सो इट्स अ लीगल डिक्लेरेशन. नाउ दिस विल, इट कम्स इनटू इफेक्ट ओनली आफ्टर द डेथ ऑफ द मेकर. जो विल बनाता है, द पर्सन, द टेस्टेटर हु मेक्स द विल, ओनली आफ्टर हिज डेथ दिस विल कम इनटू इफेक्ट. सी मैनी पीपल, they are confused many times. What they think कि मैं property, if I will my property then I will lose my property. then what if they don't keep me well? But let me tell you, till the time you are alive, the property you are the owner. Will come into effect only after your death. And this will can be revoked anytime. You can revoke this will anytime, whenever you want, till you are alive. This registration of this will is optional. It is not compulsory that you have to register it. So characteristics of a will. So it's a legal declaration by the maker. It relates to his property. Obviously, I cannot will your property, right? But one more thing I'll add over here. It relates to his property means that he can will only those property which he has self-earned or he might have gotten in gift. He cannot will inherited properties. A person cannot will inherited properties. Why? क्यों inherited properties will नहीं कर सकते? Because suppose मैंने अपने पापा से कोई प्रॉपर्टी इनहेरिट की है, I have got it in inheritance, right? तो मेरे बच्चों का ऑलरेडी वो प्रॉपर्टी में राइट्स आ गया. They already have the rights in the property. So I can will only the property which I have self-earned. I will call it as स्वपार्जित मिलकर, खुद कमाई हुई, right? This will, it must take effect only after the death of the maker, and it must be revocable during the lifetime of the maker. Now, who can make a will? Obviously, a owner of a property and who is competent to contract. Who is competent to contract? Age of majority and sound mind, right? So every person of sound mind and being a major may dispose his property by will. Who are persons incapable? So minors, they are incapable. Lunatics means not of sound mind, they are incapable. Or intoxicated person, they are incapable of making a will. Kinds of will. So there is a privileged will and unprivileged will. So any soldier, airman, mariner who is employed in a warfare, say अभी war front पे कोई एक soldier है, he is fighting a war, and if he gets shot by a bullet, उसको गोली लग जाती है, he feels that he is dying. वो सिर्फ एक पत्थर पे अपने खून से लिख के चला जाता है कि मेरी प्रॉपर्टी इसको जाएगी. Even that will be considered. So it is called privileged will. And any other civilians, if they make a will, it is unprivileged will. Now, whenever you make a will, even in will you need 2 witnesses. So I always advise people that whenever you make a will, out of the 2 witnesses, at least take 1 witness, your family doctor as a witness. You always take your family doctor as a witness. That I always advise. Why? Because will के cases में बहुत सारे time ऐसा होता है कि legal heirs will put up a case that मेरे पापा उसके मानसिक स्थिति अच्छी नहीं थी तब will की थी, right? So at that time, if your family doctor is as a witness, he can say that I was the witness and I know he was of a sound mind at that time. So it becomes easy to prove the will. Okay. Now codicil. Codicil means addition or supplement. Whenever you want to make any changes in a will, you can do it through codicil. Like if you want to make any changes in insurance policy, you can do it through endorsements. In the same way, if you want to make any changes in will, you can do it through codicil. So codicil means it's an addition or supplement to a will. It will modify a will, and it is made in relation to the will and explaining the alteration or adding dispositions to the will. Cancellation of will. So will can be cancelled in following situations: subsequent marriage of the testator, or subsequent will. Suppose if I have made a will and after that I make another will, then whichever is the latest will, it will supersede. Instrument of revocation, suppose I had made a will and then after okay lecture master, and thereafter suppose I make an instrument of revocation that I don't want to execute this will, I want to revoke it, the will be cancelled. Or destruction of will, I have made a will and the will is with me, I can just tear it off and destroy it. So that was will. Now what is gift? What is gift? Aditya, you are on mute.
And without any cost.
Yeah, when anything is transferred without taking any money, without taking any consideration. But one more thing is important. It's not only about being without consideration, but it has to be voluntary also. मैं आपके गले पे चाकू रख के आपकी प्रॉपर्टी लिखवा लूं, is it gift?
No.
It should be voluntary also, right?
Yes.
It should be with free consent. Okay, so what is gift? So gift is a transfer of certain existing movable or immovable property, which is made voluntarily. As I said, it should be with free consent, not jabardasti. So made voluntarily and without consideration. It should be absolutely free. It should be absolutely free without consideration by one person to another person, and it has to be accepted by on or behalf of another person. So when you transfer something to some another person absolutely free and voluntarily, it is said to be gift. This, it should be absolutely free, as I said. Say suppose I have bought my new car. Say I bought it in 15 lakhs. Now say if I want to gift it to Aditya, I just give him in 2 lakh rupees. Is this a gift? 15 लाख की गाड़ी है, मैं उसको 2 लाख रुपए में दे रहा हूं, वो गिफ्ट है? It's not a gift. Why? Because I have taken consideration. 2 lakh rupees. It should be absolutely free and with free consent. And if I am giving a gift, then the other person, he has to accept the gift. If he accepts, then only the gift will be complete. If he does not accept, then the gift is not complete. Right? Okay. So the person making gift, he is known as the donor, and the person who is receiving the gift, he is known as donee. Now, essentials of a gift. So donor and donee, there should be a donor and there should be a donee, and both the parties, they must be alive at the time of making gift. That means you cannot gift a property to unborn person. Am I right? You cannot gift a property to unborn person. Transfer of ownership. While making gift, it is permissible to make conditions. जरूरी नहीं है कि it shall be absolute. You can make condition. Like कल मैं एग्जांपल दे रहा था कि मैं अपनी एक प्रॉपर्टी विक्रांत को गिफ्ट में देता हूं, एक कंडीशन है कि ट्रांसफर के बाद वो 1 साल के अंदर सूरत शिफ्ट हो जाए. Am I right? So we can make conditions while we transfer the property by a gift. Existence of property. So maybe movable or immovable, the property must be in existence at the time of transfer. Say for example, say Sai Divakar, say he is a builder. I give Sai Divakar 50 lakh rupees as advance. I tell him कि Sai Divakar आपका जो नया project आएगा, whatever the new project you are coming up with, so whenever you build that project, the flat on the 4th floor, it will be mine. I have already given him 50 lakhs. Now, if I want to give this flat to Nikhil, can I do it? I cannot do it. Why? Because the property must be existence at the time of transfer. अभी वो property existence में है. He has not even started the construction work. So it is not in existence. So I cannot transfer it. So whenever you transfer the gift, the property must be in existence. Future property cannot be gifted. No consideration. As I said, it should be absolutely free. Even if you are giving it at a very discounted rate, it is not gift. It should be absolutely free. As I took the contract act also, what I said in any contract, first there is a proposal, then there is an acceptance, it becomes promise, and every set of promise with consideration becomes agreement. So as such, for every contract, there is a consideration. But gift is an exception to this. Here, consideration is not required. It will be only with love and natural affection. Voluntarily. Gift must be made voluntarily and with free consent. मैंने जैसे example दिया था, if I put a knife over here or revolver over here, or if I put a undue pressure on you to transfer the property to me in gift, then it is not a gift. It should be made voluntarily and with free consent. Competency of donor. Now in gift, it's not necessary that both the parties should be competent to contract. Only the donor has to be competent to contract. Maybe the donee may not be competent to contract. So competency of donor must be competent to contract. That means he should be of sound mind and age of maturity. And he should be owner of the property. Obviously, I cannot gift your property. Acceptance by donee. The acceptance of gift should take place during the lifetime of the donee. Say for example, Vikrant, he has given me a property, he gives me a property by gift. He proposes to give me a property by gift, but still I have not accepted it. Vikrant has proposed to give a property to me by gift, and still I have not accepted it. Now suppose if I die. Now my daughter goes to Vikrant and says that, uncle, you have to give me the property because you have gifted it to my papa. But was that gift complete? Had I accepted it while I was alive? No. So the gift was not complete. I should have accepted it during my lifetime. Then only it will be complete. So the acceptance of the gift should take place during the lifetime of the donee. Okay, you can gift a property to a minor. As I said, donee, he may not be competent. Only donor has to be competent. So you can gift a property to minor. And a gift cannot be made to a public at large. Gift of movable properties.
सर गिफ्ट ऑफ प्रॉपर्टीज में लाइबिलिटीज है तो उसको क्या कैसे डील करना है सर?
लाइबिलिटीज लाइक वो गिफ्ट डिड में मेंशन करना पड़ेगा. जैसे हम लोग बोला विद कंडीशंस गिफ्ट कर सकते हैं, तो वो गिफ्ट डिड में मेंशन करना पड़ेगा. मैं आपको बोलूंगा कि लाइबिलिटी के साथ मैं तुमको गिफ्ट करता हूँ. So gift of movable property, the transfer may be affected by registered instrument or it may be by delivery. But gift of immovable property, it has to be affected only by registered instrument. Okay. Now let's see lease. Okay, what do you understand by lease? कल हम लोग ने वैसे तो डिस्कस किया था. So what do you understand by lease?
Transfer of right partially.
Transfer of rights. Transfer of which rights, Kedar?
Usage and its
Right to
enjoy
use.
the property.
Yeah, right to use and enjoy.
Yes.
So what is lease? Lease is what? Lease is a transfer of right. Transfer of right to enjoy. So if I am owner of the property and if I yeah, Seema, it's a transfer of right. So if I am an owner of a property and if I give it on lease, say if I give it on lease to Pushpendra, then what I am doing? I am transferring my right. I am transferring the right to enjoy to Pushpendra, right? Against consideration. Against consideration. Obviously, I'm not transferring it free. I might be taking some premium from Pushpendra or I might be taking some rent from Pushpendra, right? So what is lease? Lease is a transfer of right. Nikhil, not necessary for long period. It can be for short period also. Lease can be for even 1 year also. It's fine. So it's just the transfer of right. It can be short period. It can be long period. See, this lease and all these topics, these are very important when we are doing valuation work. Like I had given one webinar on valuation of leasehold properties. I had given this webinar before, I think 6-7 months. In Surat, there were almost 72 valuers who attended that webinar. And after the delivery of the webinar, there was question answer session. And most of the question answer session, most of the questions by the law part. कि भाई किसी ने ये कहा कि सर I was doing a valuation wherein the lease was of 10 years. The lease was over, but the lessee he was not vacating the property. वो property खाली नहीं कर रहा है. अभी हम लोग ने कल देखा था, हम लोग किस चीज का valuation करते हैं? We are doing valuation of a person's right in the property, right? अभी वो लेसी प्रॉपर्टी खाली ही नहीं कर रहा है, तो लेसर के क्या राइट्स है प्रॉपर्टी में, राइट? सो फॉर दैट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड लॉस. एम आई राइट? सो दैट इज व्हाई दिस लॉ पार्ट इज देयर. सो लेट अस सी लीज. So this lease, it is given in section 105 of Transfer of Property Act. It comes under the Transfer of Property Act and it is defined as a lease of immovable property. Lease of immovable property is a transfer of right to enjoy such property made for a certain time, whether it is expressed or implied. What do you understand by expressed and what do you understand by implied? हम लोग ने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट में किया है.
Implied means समझना.
Implied means समझ लेने वाली बात. When it has not to be brought in knowledge of other person, it is implied. वो समझ लेने वाली बात है कि ये चीज है ही. And what is expressed when you have to bring it in knowledge of some other person, right? Or in perpetuity. What do you understand by perpetuity?
long.
या कल मैं जब फी सिंपल एब्सोल्यूट बता रहा था तब आई वाज यूजिंग दैट वर्ड
In life.
whole life,
नॉट
long
लाइफ,
life.
forever.
forever, long.
Forever. मरने के बाद भी खत्म नहीं होगा. सपोज इफ आई एम गिविंग योर प्रॉपर्टी ऑन परपेचुअल लीज, प्रॉपर्टी केदार को परपेचुअल लीज पे दे दी, तो इवन इफ केदार डाइज, केदार के मरने के बाद भी लीज विल नॉट एंड. Liars will become my lessee because it is perpetual lease. So it is forever. So lease of immovable property, it's a transfer of right to enjoy. What you are doing? You are transferring the right to enjoy such property made for certain time, or it can be in perpetuity, in consideration of, obviously आप कुछ पैसा लेंगे, it can be in consideration of price paid or promise, you might have taken some premium, or it can be in consideration of money, means rent that you take every monthly or yearly or periodically on specified occasions. It can be in consideration of a share of crops, like खुद का एक land है, मैंने I had given it to one farmer, but I don't take any rent from him. What I tell him that whatever is the agriculture produce, you give me 30%. So it can be in share of crops, it can be consideration, it can be in a form of a service or anything of value. So the person who transfers the lease, he is called lessor. Say I am the owner of the property and I am giving it to Pushpendra, then I am the lessor and Pushpendra is the lessee. If I am taking some advance, it is called premium, and whatever the periodic amount I take, that is called rent. Now essentials are there should be an immovable property. There should be a transfer of right, means I have to transfer the right to enjoy to the other person. It has to be for a specific period or it can be in perpetuity, and it should be against consideration which is paid periodically or on specified occasions. Now types of leases. So first is perpetual lease. So what is perpetual lease? अभी मैंने 2 मिनट पहले बताया. What is perpetual lease?
Eternity.
Lifelong.
It is forever.
Forever.
Ongoing tenure. The lease will not end. Like you all are from Maharashtra. Most of you are from Maharashtra. So you all might be knowing about MIDC. MIDC क्या करती है? 99 years के लिए लीज पे लैंड देती है, and there is a renewal clause in it कि after 99 years it will get renewed, right? So this lease will not end, it will be forever. When can this lease end? Say suppose I am the lessee and if I am not paying the rent, then only the lease can end. Or suppose I am giving away my lease rights, then the lease can end. Or maybe see MIDC has given me from some specific purpose that I have to use it only for IT park and I have to construct and use the premises within 3 years. Now till 10 years I am not using it. Then it can forfeit my property. Otherwise the lease will not end. It will go on and on and on. Even if I die, I am a lessee, and even if I die, the lease will not end. It will go to my legal heirs. They will become the lessee. So perpetual lease, it is lease forever, it will never end. Okay. Then tenancy at will. So tenancy at will, it is also called as estate at will. It is also called as estate at will. So in tenancy at will, as such there is no lease agreement. As such there is no lease agreement. कोई lease agreement ही नहीं बनाया है. So whenever the owner wants, he can end the lease. Or whenever the tenant wants, he can end the lease. Both are at will. क्योंकि कोई lease agreement तो है ही नहीं. तो जिसकी जो मर्जी चाहे जब चाहे वो लोग बंद कर सकते हैं. So that is why we call it as tenancy at will. There is no period mentioned कि इतने period के लिए lease है, because lease agreement ही नहीं है. There is no rent mentioned because there is no lease agreement. So tenancy at will, it's a property tenure wherein there is no written agreement. Now tenancy at sufferance. So tenant at sufferance, this is the situation which I was talking about. So it is the situation when a tenant of real estate, he continues to occupy the premises without landlord's consent after the original lease or rental agreement between the landlord and the tenant has expired. Say for example, say I had given a property on lease to Pawan for 10 years. I had given a property on lease to Pawan for 10 years. Now the 10 years period is over. So as such the lease is over. Now I am not renewing the lease. मैं lease renew नहीं कर रहा हूँ. So as such, now does Pawan has any right to stay in the property? No. But still Pawan वो प्रॉपर्टी खाली ही नहीं कर रहा है. He is not vacating the property. He is occupying the property without my consent. So this is known as tenancy at sufferance. And this Pawan, he will be called as holdover tenant. Because the lease period is over, I have not renewed the lease, and without my consent, he is occupying the property. So he is called as a holdover tenant. Now, since Pawan, he is occupying the property, so it is his duty, he is responsible to make me the payment of rent on the previous terms and conditions. He has to pay me the rent because he is occupying the property. But now, whether I should accept the rent or not, so I have to think about the legality. What will happen if I accept the rent? I have to think of the legality, and then I have to take decision whether I should accept the rent or not. Suppose if I don't want Pawan in the property, then what I should do? I should not accept the rent. And then I can drag him to the court. I can file a case against him that he is occupying the property illegally without my consent, and then the court can order him to vacate the property. So if I don't want him in the property, though he gives me the rent, I should not accept the rent. But what if I accept the rent? If I accept the rent, it becomes tenancy by holding over. If I accept the rent, it will become tenancy by holding over. Now, though we have no contract between us, but if I accept the rent, then it means that there is an implied contract between me and Pawan. अगर मैंने rent accept कर लिया, then it means that there is an implied contract between me and Pawan. हम लोग ने सिर्फ रिटर्न नहीं किया है, but मैंने मान लिया है कि वो मेरा टेनेंट है, इसलिए मैं रेंट ले रहा हूं. So now if I take him to the court, they will not vacate Pawan from the premises because they will say that there is an implied contract. Why we have taken rent? So now Pawan can occupy the property legally. He can occupy this property legally. Okay, for what period? So the length of the duration of this new lease agreement, it would be decided by the state laws and the court rulings. They will decide what would be the new term for this rental agreement. Is it clear? So जब मुझे ये क्वेश्चन आया था मेरे से वेबिनार में कि सर वो 10 साल हो गया था और वो प्रीमाइसेस खाली नहीं कर रहा था, मैं वैल्यूएशन कैसे करूं? So the first question I asked him that he was paying rent, whether the owner is accepting rent or not. If the owner is accepting rent, then it means that the property is on lease, so you have to do it in that way. If he is accepting the rent, then he might be the complete owner of the property. So you have to consider all these factors. So is it clear what is tenancy at sufferance and tenancy by holding over?
सर आफ्टर मरने के बाद अगर लीगल हायर्स उसको हो जाएगा ना सर नॉर्मली?
किसके मरने के बाद?
अगर 10 साल का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट पीरियड है, 10 साल के बाद अगर वो जो जिसने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किया वो मरने के बाद उसका लीगल हायर ऑटोमेटिकली उसका सन को जाएगा, तब ले सकते हैं ना? वो नहीं ले सकते.
सपोज मैंने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किया आपसे, सही दिवाकर, मैंने आपसे 10 साल का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किया, 10 साल खत्म हो गया, अभी कौन मर रहा है, मैं या आप? ओनर. सपोज इफ आई डाई, बट 10 साल खत्म हो गया तो आपके तो राइट्स ही नहीं है प्रॉपर्टी पे, मेरे लीगल राइट है.
अगर मैं रेंट आपका बेटा को दिया, देन
अगर मैं आपने रेंट मेरे बेटे को दिया और मेरे बेटे ने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया, देन इट विल बी टेनेंसी बाय होल्डिंग ओवर, देन यू कैन लीगली ऑक्यूपाई द प्रीमाइसेस, बिकॉज़ देन
नहीं सर, आप जब नहीं लीगल राइट्स भी जाएगा ना सर बच्चों को,
बच्चों
तो वो ले
को
सकता है
तो जाएगा ही. बच्चे को प्रॉपर्टी के ओनर तो बच्चे ही रहेंगे, बट सिंस दे आर एक्सेप्टिंग द रेंट, that means that they have accepted you as the lessee in the property. बराबर है? Since they have accepted the rent, that means they have accepted you as the lessee in the property.
For 1 more 10 years सर, वो टर्म स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के हिसाब से रहेगा बोल रहे हैं.
हाँ, वो कितना बाद में, अगर मान लो मेरे बच्चों को आप प्रॉपर्टी में नहीं चाहिए, सी वो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट तो कब स्टेट लॉज कि अगर वो कोर्ट में गया तो मतलब अभी मेरे बच्चों ने रेंट एक्सेप्ट कर लिया फिर भी वो कोर्ट में जा रहे हैं, उन्होंने रेंट भी एक्सेप्ट किया फिर भी कोर्ट में जा रहे हैं, तो कोर्ट क्या बोलेगा कि यार आपने रेंट एक्सेप्ट किया, दैट मींस यू हैव कॉन्ट्रैक्ट विद हिम। सो तब वो कोर्ट डिसाइड करेगा कितना पीरियड का आपका लीज है, ठीक है ना।
सर एक और सवाल है।
समथिंग
यस यस यस, आई हैव वन क्वेश्चन।
क्या किताब?
अगर ओनर मर जाते हैं तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वहीं पे खत्म हो जाना चाहिए ना, बच्चों को क्यों तकलीफ होनी चाहिए?
बच्चे को तकलीफ क्यों है?
यानी ओनर मर
आज
जाएंगे
मैं
तो
ओनर
कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वहीं पे
हूँ,
खत्म हो
इधर
जाना
मैं आज ओनर हूँ, मैंने मेरे राइट्स आपको दे दिए,
चाहिए।
मैंने अपने राइट्स आपको दे दिए, तो अभी मेरे पास तो जितने राइट्स है उतने ही मेरे बच्चों को जा सकते हैं। मैंने जो आपको राइट्स दिए वो क्यों मेरे
Okay.
बच्चों को जाएंगे? जब मैं ओनर हूं तब मैंने ही डिसाइड कर लिया था कि इतने राइट्स आपको जाने चाहिए, तो वो मेरे बच्चों को क्यों जाएंगे? वैसे एक बात बताता हूं, मैंने एक प्रॉपर्टी मॉर्गेज की बैंक के साथ, सिंपल बात करता हूं, मैंने एक प्रॉपर्टी मॉर्गेज की बैंक के साथ, अगर मैं मर गया बराबर है, तो क्या मेरे बच्चों को लोन नहीं पे करना है? प्रॉपर्टी में मिलेगी,
करना
पे
है।
करना है नहीं करना है?
करना है
करना है ना,
यस करना है।
तो फिर राइट
और इंश्योरेंस लेना है।
नहीं, मेरा सवाल ये था
विल एंड द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट।
सर जी,
या
मेरा सवाल ये था, अगर ओनर डाई होता है, मर जाता है, तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वहीं पे खत्म हो जाएगा या बच्चों को भी वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फॉलो करना पड़ेगा?
बच्चों को भी वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फॉलो करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि मैंने मेरी प्रॉपर्टी तुमको लिस्ट पे दी केदार, मैंने मेरी प्रॉपर्टी आपको लिस्ट पे दी, तो मैंने क्या किया, राइट टू यूज एंड एंजॉय आपको दे दिया। अभी मेरे कितने राइट्स है प्रॉपर्टी में? आई हैव द ओनली राइट्स टू पजेस द प्रॉपर्टी, आई डोंट हैव राइट टू यूज द प्रॉपर्टी, एम आई राइट? मेरे राइट्स कितने हैं प्रॉपर्टी?
यस
सिर्फ राइट्स टू पजेस, राइट टू यूज तो है नहीं, तो मेरे मरने के बाद मेरे कौन से राइट जाएंगे मेरे बच्चों को?
पोजीशन के सिर्फ।
पोजेशन के ही जाएंगे, तो ऑटोमेटिकली आप लेसी हो गए ना। कॉन्ट्रैक्ट क्या है?
और ओनर बिना विल फाइनल किए मर जाता है तो?
ओनर विल नहीं करता है तो उसके सक्सेसर्स को जाएगा प्रॉपर्टी। अगर वो विल करता है तो जिसके नाम पे विल किया उसको जाएगा, अदरवाइज इट विल गो टू द सक्सेसर्स। वो सक्सेसर्स को कैसे जाएगा? इट डिपेंड्स हिंदू सक्सेशन एक्ट, मुस्लिम सक्सेशन एक्ट, राइट? कि आप कौन से कास्ट से हो, वो हिसाब से जो सक्सेशन एक्ट आपको लगता है,
और सर और एक सवाल है,
या
अगर ओनर के कोई बच्चे ही नहीं है, वारिसदारी नहीं है, तो फिर?
सी वो आपको सक्सेशन एक्ट में देखना पड़ेगा कि उसके खुद के बच्चे नहीं है तो भी वो आप कौन सी कास्ट से बिलोंग करते हैं। अगर आप हिंदू हो तो हिंदू सक्सेशन एक्ट में क्या लिखा है कि आपके बच्चे नहीं है तो आपके भाई को जाएगा या आपकी बहन को जाएगा या आपके कोई रिलेटिव को जाएगा, वो सब आपको देखना पड़ेगा। सो यू हैव टू चेक द सक्सेशन एक्ट, राइट? ये एक ही टॉपिक है प्रॉपर्टी लॉ का जो मैं आईबीबीआई में नहीं लेता हूं, दैट इज सक्सेशन एक्ट। वो मेरे को कभी समझ में ही नहीं आता है, शायद इसीलिए वो अदिति ने लिया होगा, राइट? क्योंकि ना मुझे फिर भी एक बात है ना, हिंदू सक्सेशन एक्ट तो थोड़ा भी समझ में आ जाता है, बट वो मुस्लिम सक्सेशन एक्ट है ना, सही में आज तक मुझे समझा नहीं है कि ये 2/3 राइट इसको जाता है, 1/3 राइट इसको जाता है, तो समझ में नहीं आता है, तो मैं ट्राई नहीं किया है समझने का। मैंने आईबीबीआई में छोड़ दिया था कि यार 1 मार्क का आएगा मैं छोड़ दूंगा, बट इट विल गो एज पर सक्सेशन एक्ट। ऐसा नहीं है कि वो किसको नहीं जाएगा, वो सक्सेशन एक्ट में जो जैसे है, आप जो कास्ट से बिलोंग करते हो, आइदर यू आर हिंदू इट विल गो बाय हिंदू सक्सेशन एक्ट, इफ यू आर मुस्लिम इट विल गो बाय मुस्लिम सक्सेशन एक्ट, या आप दोनों में नहीं आते हो तो इंडियन सक्सेशन एक्ट है उसके हिसाब से जाएगा, ठीक है ना? Can I put property which I get by inheritance on lease? Yes sir, inherited property आप लीज पे तो डाल ही सकते हैं।
सर फिर अगर इनहेरिटेंस में जो प्रॉपर्टी मिला है वो हमने लीज पे दिया है और उस पर्सन का एक्सपायर हो गया वो, तो उसके बच्चों को वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट
इसमें क्या है कि जब आप लीज कर रहे हैं, अगर आप शॉर्ट टर्म कर रहे हो तो बराबर है, लॉन्ग टर्म लीज कर रहे हैं ना, तो लेसी को ये पहले देखना पड़ेगा कि वो है ना बाकी के जो इनहेरिटेड प्रॉपर्टीज है तो जितने भी लीगल आयर्स है ना सबका भी साइन ले लेगा.
अच्छा, लेकिन अगर लीगल हायर्स माइनर हो तो?
माइनर हो तो ये डिसीजन ले सकता है एंड ही कैन गिव इट ऑन लीज.
ओके ओके, ठीक है सर.
या ये द क्वेश्चन इज गुड कि अगर मैं वो 60 साल के लिए लीज पे दे देता हूं तो क्या, तो लीगल वो तो मैच्योर हो जाएंगे. सो इन दैट केस आई थिंक वी हैव टू टेक एन एडवाइस ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी लॉयर, क्योंकि वो हमेशा डिस्प्यूट में आ सकती है. कि कल उठ के वो बच्चे लोग बोलेंगे कि यार मुझे तो लीज पे देनी ही नहीं थी. तो बच्चों को प्रॉपर्टी तब ट्रांसफर होगी जब सपोज मैं मर जाऊंगा तो मेरे बच्चे को ट्रांसफर होके वो उनके नाम पे जाएगी, तो दे हैव गॉट द राइट्स इन द प्रॉपर्टी. So I think it won't be an issue for short-term lease. Maybe if it's perpetual lease, then it will be an issue. It won't be on perpetual lease. वो perpetual lease नहीं कर पाएगा.
ओके सर, ओके, थैंक यू सर.
Now, a lease can be from year to year or month to month also. You can have small lease also. It can be periodic lease. It can be lease for a fixed period. Say for example, मैंने केदार को 10 साल के लिए लीज पे दे दिया, fixed period. Or it can be lease for life. So what is lease for life? It is lease for the lifetime of the lessee. Say for example, if I have a property and I give it on lease to Sai Divakar for the terms of his life, it is called lease for life. That means the lease will be there till Sai Divakar is alive. If Sai Divakar lives another 80 years, the lease will continue another 80 years. If Sai Divakar lives another 40 years, the lease will continue another 40 years. If Sai Divakar dies in 2 years, the lease will end in 2 years. जब तक साई दिवाकर जिंदा है वो प्रॉपर्टी लीज पे होगी. जिस दिन साई दिवाकर मर जाएगा वो प्रॉपर्टी का लीज खत्म हो जाएगा. सो व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द लीज फॉर लाइफ एंड परपेचुअल लीज?
वो लाइव में रहेगा, वो कंटिन्यू रहेगा सर टिल एंड.
In perpetual lease, even if Sai Divakar dies, the lease will not end. It will go to his legal heirs in perpetual lease. But in lease for life, once
It will end after the death.
the lease will end. Clear hai? Now, rights and liabilities of lessor and lessee. This is a very theoretical part, so I will not go through each and every rights and liabilities of lessor and lessee, but we will go only through some important rights and liabilities. So first of all, the liabilities of lessor, the first liability is the duty of disclosure. The duty of disclosure. Since the lessor he is giving the property on lease to the lessee, he is transferring his right to use and enjoy. So who is going to use and enjoy? The lessee is going to use and enjoy, right? Now suppose it's my property and if I am giving it on lease to Pawan Kumar. So I will be transferring my use of right to enjoy to Pawan Kumar. Am I right? So suppose if there is any defect in my property, say there is some defect in my property which can affect the right to enjoy, then it is my duty that I should disclose it to Pawan Kumar that this is the defect in the property and your rights can be hampered due to this before I enter into lease with Pawan Kumar. Am I right? It's a duty to give possession. Since I am giving my property to Pawan Kumar on lease, means I am giving the right to enjoy to Pawan Kumar. Say suppose we have made a lease deed and we have agreed upon that Pawan will give me a rent of 1 lakh rupees per month. Pawan is going to give me a rent of 1 lakh rupees per month. Then we have made the lease agreement. We both have signed the agreement. Now I am not giving him possession for next 6 months. I am not giving possession to Pawan. Can I take rent from him? Can I take rent from him?
No.
Because my duty that I have to put him in the possession of the property. Because what I am giving him, I am giving him right to use and enjoy. Without possession, how can he use the right to use and enjoy? Right? So I cannot recover the rent also till that time. Okay, some of the rights of lessee, he can charge for repair. Say suppose I have entered into a lease, say with Aditya, wherein we have agreed upon that whatever is the maintenance repairs that has to be carried out by me. I am the owner and I have to carry out all the maintenance and repairs. And I have given it on lease to Aditya. Now what happens? There is some problem in the property now, and the repair needs to be done. But now maybe I am not doing the repairs. I am not carrying out the repairs. So now it is affecting Aditya because he is using the property. So what Aditya can do? He can give me a notice. He can give me a notice with a reasonable time that Vimal, you get this work carried out. This repairs has to be done. And if I don't carry out that repairs within that stipulated time, then it is the right of Aditya that he can carry out the repairs himself. And whatever the expenses are there for the repairs, he can recover those expenses with interest. He can recover those expenses with interest from me, either from the rent which is payable to me or in other ways. Right? So it is his right to make payment. Say suppose the owner, he is not making certain payments which he has to make. And now that payment, it is becoming recoverable from the property or from the lessee. Say for example, owner is not paying the property tax. Now the corporation, they will not leave the property. Obviously, they will steal the property. If I don't make the property, I don't pay the property tax, right? So if the lessor, he neglects to make any such payment, then what the lessee can do, he can make the payment himself. And he can recover that payment with interest from the lessor, either from the rent payable to the lessor or in other way. Even lessor's duty is that suppose before taking the property on lease, if he is knowing that there are some facts which materially increases the value of the property and the lessor is not knowing, then he should let the lessor know about it. His duty is to pay the rent periodically as agreed in the terms and condition. He has to pay the rent periodically, right? His duty is to maintain the property. The lessee is bound to keep the property in good condition, and he has to, whenever the lease period is over, he has to return the property in the same condition he has taken prior to the lease agreement. Okay, obviously, say if it is a 10 years of lease, I cannot give it in the same condition due to, you can say, aging process. There might be some wear and tear that will be allowable. Otherwise, he has to give in the same position. Like as I said previously, I had worked in Oman also. I had my projects in Oman also. So Oman में तो क्या है कि whenever we take a property on rent, मैंने वहाँ पे घर rent पे लिया हुआ था. तो owner what he does, when I take a property on rent, वो पूरा कलर करके घर दे देता है, नया कलर मार के ही देता है. जिस दिन मैं घर छोड़ूंगा ना, मुझे नया कलर मार के देना है. Same condition I have to return. So it's his duty to maintain the property. It's his duty to give notice. Many times what happened that since lessee is using the property, maybe if some person, he has initiated some proceedings to recover the property or part of the property. Now since lessee is using the property, he comes to know that some person has initiated some such process of recovering the property, and maybe the lessor is not knowing it. Then it's his duty to let the lessor know that somebody has started such proceedings to recover the property. प्रॉपर्टी में से इंटरेस्ट निकल जाएगा, तो लीज विल बी ओवर. और बाय द सरेंडर ऑफ लीज, मेरे पास लीज राइट्स है, आई सरेंडर दैट आई डोंट वांट द लीज राइट्स. और बाय forfeiture, like as I said, suppose if I have taken a property from MIDC on lease, नाउ द MIDC उन लोग के लीज एग्रीमेंट में मेंशन रहता है कि विद इन 3 years यू हैव टू यूज दिस प्रीमाइसेस, आपको वहां पे फैक्ट्री चालू करना पड़ेगा. नाउ इफ आई एम नॉट यूजिंग दैट प्रॉपर्टी सिंस लास्ट 10 years, MIDC क्या करेगा? दे विल फॉरफिट इट, सो द लीज कैन बी ओवर. सो दिस आर द वेज हाउ द लीज कैन बी, you can say, determined or it can be terminated, right? Okay, धीरे दिख रहा, वो जो नहीं. Okay, now what is mortgage? What is mortgage?
उधार लेना सर, by keeping a property or
या उधार लेना या लोन लेना, you can say exactly लोन लेना by keeping a property. What do you understand by keeping a property?
rights on property.
Rights on the
You are not keeping the entire property, am I right? Are you transferring all the rights in the property?
As a security.
Okay, but are you transferring all the rights?
No, as a security only, sir.
Yeah,
Not
you
all.
are transferring only few rights, am I right? So mortgage means गिरवी लेना. It's a loan against property, या पुष्पेंद्र. So mortgage means गिरवी लेना. So mortgage means you are taking loan from someone and against the security, as a security. अगर आपने किसी से लोन लिया तो उसको कुछ security चाहिए. So what you are doing, you are transferring certain interest from your property and you are transferring it in favor of him, so that now he has a security about his loan amount which he has advanced to you. Is it clear? So mortgage is what? You are transferring certain rights from your property and giving it to the mortgagee, so that the mortgagee is secured for the loan amount which he has given it to you. Right? Till the loan is recovered. Yeah, Vikrant, once the loan is recovered, the mortgage will end. Right? So mortgage, it is the transfer of interest in specific immovable property. What I said, you are transferring certain rights or certain interest. So it is the transfer of interest in specific immovable property for the purpose of securing the payment. You are transferring it as a security for the purpose of securing the payment of money advanced or to be advanced by the way of loan or an existing or future debt. So the person who transfers his property, he is known as who transfers his rights, not the property, who transfers his rights. He is known as transferor or mortgager. Say for example, if I have taken loan from bank, mortgage loan from bank, then I am known as the transferor or the mortgager. And the bank who has advanced the loan to me, it is known as the transferee or the mortgagee. Right? Now this term mortgage, it's a French law term and its meaning is debt contract. Its meaning is debt contract. It means that the pledge dies. The pledge dies or if the pledge ends when either the obligation is fulfilled. Means suppose if I am taken a loan from the bank, mortgage loan from the bank, if I pay away all the loan amount with interest, what will happen? The mortgage will end. Or if the property is taken through foreclosure, if I am not paying the amount and bank takes it through foreclosure, the mortgage will end. Right? So it's a debt contract. Now the main essentials of mortgage. So there must be a transfer of interest. There should be specific immovable property and transfer to secure the payment. Okay, let us see it in detail, these 3 points. So there must be a transfer of interest. There must be a transfer of interest. कप मुक्या नहीं पानी रखी नहीं बढ़िया नहीं डब्बा Acha. So there must be a transfer of interest. So the first thing, what I said, what is mortgage? You are transferring what? Certain rights in the property in favor of the mortgagee, right? So the first thing to note is that the mortgage is the transfer of interest in specific immovable property. Now, as the owner, suppose if I am the owner of the property, then I have got all the rights in the property. I have got all the rights in the property. But when I mortgage the property, what I do? I transfer certain rights in the property to the mortgagee. Am I right? So that it is secured. So before mortgage, I am the full owner of the property. I have got the fee simple absolute right. But after mortgage, I have the fee simple less than absolute right, because I am giving certain rights in the property to the mortgagee. So after mortgage, maybe now my ownership has become less for the time being. My ownership, it becomes less for the time being. Now I am not the full owner of the property. Why? I have to mention the specific property in the mortgage deed. Say for example, I have 4 properties. मेरे पास 4 property है. Now if I want to mortgage all the 4 properties, I want to take loan and I want to mortgage all the 4 properties. Even then I have to specifically mention the details of each property. I cannot just write all of my properties in the mortgage deed. If I just write all of my properties in the mortgage deed, then as held by the court, it was held by the court that this is not a mortgage. Why? Because I have not specifically mentioned the details of the property. I have written just all of my properties. Why does court say this? Because suppose if I have written all of my properties and now say I don't pay the mortgage amount. Say I have paid certain installments and now I am not paying any mortgage amount. Then the court should be in a position to grant a degree of the sale of a particular property to recover the dues. So that is why court insists that you have to mention each and every property, particularly in the mortgage deed. And as I said, the mortgage, it is against to secure payment of loan advanced or to be advanced. Now, there are 6 types of mortgages: simple mortgage, conditional mortgage, usufructuary mortgage, English mortgage, equitable mortgage, and anomalous mortgage. So let us go through all these type of mortgages. Simple mortgage. As the name suggests, this is the simplest mortgage. So here the mortgager, he just binds with the mortgagee. Whenever he takes the mortgage loan, he just binds with the mortgagee. They just make an agreement that if he does not pay the loan amount, the mortgagee can sell his property and recover the dues. Here the mortgager does not give the possession of his property to the mortgagee. Also, he will not give his title deeds to the mortgagee. Say for example, if I am taking a loan of say 50 lakh rupees, say from Sai Divakar for 7 years under simple mortgage. I have taken a loan of 50 lakh rupees for 7 years, say at some rate of interest from Sai Divakar under simple mortgage. Then I am not going to give the possession of my property to Sai Divakar. Am I right? Possession will be with me only. But as it is simple mortgage, I am not even going to give my title deeds to Sai Divakar. मैं उसको मेरे टाइटल डीड्स भी नहीं दूंगा. टाइटल डीड्स भी मेरे पास ही रहेगा. Okay, I will bind myself through a contract with Sai Divakar that this is the mortgage, and if I don't pay this loan amount within stipulated time, Sai Divakar can sell the property and recover his due. So this is simple mortgage. Then mortgage by conditional sale. So under this mortgage by conditional sale, the mortgagor apparently sell his property. Say for example, say I am taking a mortgage from SEMA. Say I am taking 50 lakh rupees from SEMA for 7 years under mortgage by conditional sale. So what I will do, here I will make a conditional sale agreement. I will sell my property to SEMA with a condition. Conditional sale hai, so there will be condition added to it. So I sell my property to SEMA with a condition. What is the condition? I will sell my property to SEMA with a condition that if I don't pay this loan amount within the stipulated period of time with interest, then this sale agreement will become absolute. So suppose अगर मैंने वो 7 साल में वो 50 लाख रुपया सीमा को पे नहीं किया, तो what will happen? This sale agreement will become absolute. Absolute मतलब it will be honored. So what will happen? The property will be transferred in the name of SEMA, right? But at the same time, there is another 20 minutes. At the same time, say I have made another condition over there that if I pay this loan amount within the stipulated period of time, then this sale agreement, it will become void, means it will cancel out. अगर मैंने loan amount दे दिया तो the sale agreement will cancel, right? So this is the conditional sale. मैंने वो sale कर दिया उसको condition के साथ कि अगर मैंने 7 साल में उनको पेमेंट कर दिया, नहीं किया तो वो प्रॉपर्टी उनके नाम पे ट्रांसफर हो जाएगी, लेकिन मैंने अगर पेमेंट कर दिया तो ये सेल एग्रीमेंट कैंसिल हो जाएगा. Here also I am not giving the possession of my property to SEMA, right? Possession तो मेरे पास ही है, but I have made a conditional sale agreement. So now SEMA is safe कि अगर मैंने उसको 7 साल के अंदर पैसे नहीं दिए तो she has not to go to court and everything. This sale agreement will become absolute and the property will be transferred in her name, right? Usufructuary mortgage. So in this usufructuary mortgage, this is the only kind of mortgage wherein the mortgagor gives the possession of the property to the mortgagee. Say for example, I have taken a loan of 50 lakh rupees from Pushpendra under usufructuary mortgage. Then what I will do? I will give the possession of my property to Pushpendra. मैं उसको property का possession भी दे दूंगा. Now Pushpendra himself can use the property or he can lease the property. He will get the rent. He can earn the profit from the property, right? Till I pay the loan amount. जो भी प्रॉपर्टी से बेनिफिट होगा वो किसको मिलेगा? वो लीज पे दिया है, जो रेंट आएगा, जो भी प्रॉफिट आएगा प्रॉपर्टी से, वो किसको जाएगा? पुष्पेंद्र को जाएगा, right? But when I pay away the loan amount, what will happen? Pushpendra, he has to return back the property to me, right? Here I am giving the possession of the property to Pushpendra, but I am not giving my title deeds to Pushpendra. मैं टाइटल डीड्स तो अपने पास ही रखूंगा, पोजेशन उसको दे दूंगा, मैं टाइटल डीड्स नहीं दूंगा. Is it clear? So this is the only kind of mortgage wherein we give the possession of the property also, usufructuary mortgage. English mortgage. This is somewhat similar to conditional mortgage. मैंने conditional mortgage में क्या बताया था कि मैंने सीमा जी को प्रॉपर्टी सेल कर दी कंडीशन पे कि अगर मैं 7 साल में अगर वो नहीं पेमेंट कर सकता हूं तो वो प्रॉपर्टी उनके नाम पे ट्रांसफर हो जाएगी, राइट? लेकिन कब उनके नाम पे ट्रांसफर होगी? व्हेन इट विल बी ट्रांसफर्ड,
जब पूरा लोन पेमेंट करे.
या व्हेन इट विल बी ट्रांसफर्ड इफ आई एम नॉट पेइंग इट टू हर विद इन द स्टिपुलेटेड पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, राइट? देन ओनली इट विल बी ट्रांसफर्ड. But in English mortgage, suppose I am doing an English mortgage with Vikrant. I have taken a loan of say 50 lakh rupees from Vikrant for 7 years under English mortgage. So if I take it under English mortgage, what I will do, I will absolutely transfer the property to Vikrant today. मैं आज ही पूरी प्रॉपर्टी विक्रांत के नाम पे ट्रांसफर कर दूंगा. But there will be a condition written in the transfer deed that this is the mortgage and I have transferred this property to Vikrant under this mortgage. And if I pay the stipulated amount of 50 lakhs within 7 years with interest to Vikrant, then Vikrant has to retransfer the property back to me. अगर मैं उनको लोन अमाउंट पे कर देता हूं तो विक्रांत को वापस प्रॉपर्टी मुझे रीट्रांसफर करके दे देनी पड़ेगी. राइट? कंडीशनल मॉर्गेज में क्या था, प्रॉपर्टी ट्रांसफर नहीं हो रही थी, अगर नहीं पे करता था तो ही ट्रांसफर होने वाली थी. बट इंग्लिश मॉर्गेज में क्या है, प्रॉपर्टी आज ही ट्रांसफर हो जाएगी. हियर ऑल्सो दो आई हैव ट्रांसफर्ड द प्रॉपर्टी इन द नेम ऑफ विक्रांत, but here also still I am not giving him the possession of the property. Possession तो मेरे पास ही है. Is it clear?
Then what will be the use of transferring the property?
Security basically विक्रांत. ये प्राइवेट फाइनेंसेस में बहुत चलता है और मैंने खुद ने ये इंग्लिश मॉर्गेज बहुत देखा हुआ है इधर सूरत में कि अगर मैं मान लो विक्रांत मैं आपको प्राइवेट फाइनेंस करता हूं, अब क्या भरोसा आपने, अगर आपने मुझे वापस नहीं किए तो मैं कहां कोर्ट के चक्कर काटूंगा आपके लिए. एम आई राइट? तो मैं आपकी प्रॉपर्टी लिखवा लेता हूं.
Okay.
बराबर. एंड दिस इंग्लिश मॉर्गेज इट इज वेरी वेरी प्रिवेलेंट इन प्राइवेट फाइनेंसेस, बहुत ज्यादा.
सर मॉर्टगेज और प्रॉमिसरी नोट में डिफरेंस है सर. प्रॉमिसरी नोट
Promissory note. Okay, what kind of promissory note? See, mortgage is basically transfer of right. Promissory note is not a transfer of right. It's just an agreement. Promissory note में आप transfer of right नहीं करते हैं. Mortgage में आप क्या कर रहे हैं, आप